Hello everyone and welcome to this third and final video on introduction to NumPy for beginners. In this video we'll be going over a few NumPy operations which can be used to carry out NumPy matrix multiplication, multiplication, addition, subtraction on an element by element basis using NumPy arrays, and I will also be going over a few universal array functions which you guys can use to carry out a bunch of operations such as taking the square root, taking the exponential of elements inside of NumPy arrays. So without further wait, let's get started. So let's say the first thing is we will have to import NumPy as NP. That is done. So let's say I have a matrix by the name of mat np dot range 0, 10 dot reshape 5, 2. So let's say I have a matrix. It's a 5 cross 2 matrix by the name of mat, and I have another matrix by the name of mat2, which also happens to be a 5 cross 2 matrix, but let's say it starts from 10 all the way to 20. Okay then, and let's run that. So I have two matrices, mat and mat2. If I want to add all of the elements inside of my matrices with each other, for example, I want to add elements of mat with the elements of mat2, all I have to do is say mat plus mat2. And what do I get? I get all of my elements inside of mat having been added with all of the elements inside of mat2. So let's say I have mat over here and I have mat2 over here. How is this addition carried out? Well, what NumPy does is that it takes all of the elements that are at the common index position and adds them together. So for example, 0 over here is at the 0th row at the 0th column, and 10 over here is at the 0th row and 0th column. So 10 plus 0 is 0, 10 plus 0 is 10, apologies. And let's say for another example, 15 over here is at the 0, 1, it's at the second row and the first column. And sorry about that, 15 over here is at the second row, the first column, and 5 over here is at the second row, first column. So when 15 and 5 are added together, we get 20, which is at the second row, the first column. So this is how element by element addition is carried out using NumPy arrays. Multiplication is pretty much the same. NumPy will add all of these elements on an element by element basis. So element on the 0th row, 0th index will be multiplied with the other element from mat2 on the 0th row, 0th index, 0th row, 0th column. So once all of these elements are multiplied together, we get a final resulting matrix over here, mat cross mat2. So that was pretty much it for basic multiplication. But for any one of you who has actually studied or who is somewhat aware of linear algebra, you guys do know that multiplication of matrices doesn't happen like that. Well, over here NumPy has multiplied these matrices together, but it has only multiplied them on an element by element basis. So let's say I have a 5 cross 2 matrix and I want to multiply it with a 5 cross 2 matrix. The thing is that this sort of multiplication, please ignore this 100 over here, I'm just trying to explain a concept over here. This sort of multiplication on matrices is just not possible. Why? Because for matrices to be multiplied together, the number of columns of the first matrix should be equal to the number of rows of the second matrix. But over here, mat and mat2, they have different number of rows and different number of columns. It's not the same. So because of this, what NumPy does is that it only multiplies them together, but the proper matrix for multiplication can be carried out using an operation of NumPy called matmul. What matmul does is that it takes two arguments, which are my two matrices, and it multiplies them together using a matrix multiplication way, using that is normally carried out in algebra. When I execute this command, I'll get an error, and let me run this. I get an error. The error is that input operand 1 has a mismatch. By mismatch, it means is that the number of columns of the first matrix is not equal to the number of rows of the second matrix. And it's pretty obvious over here. Mat has 2 columns, whereas Mat 2 has 5 rows. These two ending numbers are just not the same. So that's why this multiplication will not take place. So let's say I have Mat 2 over here. It's a 5 cross 2 matrix. If I were to take transpose of this, so I'll say mat underscore t, and it will be a mat dot transpose. If I were to look at this, now I have a 2 cross 5 matrix. I have 2 rows and 5 columns. Now this matrix can be multiplied with mat. Why? Because the number of columns of the first matrix is equal to the number of rows of the second matrix. And if I were to multiply them using the np.matmul command, I would get mat comma mat underscore t. I get a 5 cross 5 matrix. So this is how matrix multiplication is carried out in NumPy. The first matrix, the first multiplication only the multiplication on element by element basis, but the proper way of multiplying matrices is carried out using the np.matmul command. So these are just a few operations that you guys can get practice with. I will be going over a few other operations, such as the square root command. Let's say I have a matrix over here with the name of mat. I've already defined it. If I want to take the square root of each and every element inside of mat, I would say np.sqrt, sqrt for square root, pass in my function, and I get the square root of each and every element inside of mat. If I were to take the exponential, I would say np.exp, pass in my matrix, pass in my array, I get exp of each and every element, exponents of each and every element. And one more operation I'd like to carry out is np.log. np.log takes the argument of mat, and I get the log of each and every element. I get a warning over here. This warning is because of the fact that the log of 0 is negative infinity. So that's why NumPy has given me this warning over here, but it's still valid. We can still use this. So yeah, for any one of you who's looking at, who's trying to, practice and look at even more NumPy operations, this is a link, and I'll leave this link in the description, where you guys can go over and see all of the operations that NumPy has in its store. The log 1, log 2, you guys can practice them at your time, but it's pretty straightforward. You just pass in the operator and give it a few arguments, and yeah, the rest NumPy will do it for you. So yeah, these are just a few operations that I went over, and this is how multiplication, addition, subtraction can be carried out in NumPy. In this second part of the video, I will be going over a few exercises which will give you guys plenty of practice of what we have learned so far in NumPy. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the second part of this video. Thank you. Hello everyone, and welcome to the second part in this introduction to NumPy for beginners course. This is the final video of this 3 video series on introduction to NumPy. In this part of the video, I'll be going over a few exercises which I believe can really prove to be helpful for anyone who's really trying to get some practice with NumPy. So yeah, let's get started. The first thing is we have to import NumPy as NP. Let's do that. Okay, the first question is we have to create an array of 10 zeros. Okay, then let's say we will have np.zeros. If I pass in 10, yeah. So using the np.zeros command, we have created a 1D vector which has 10 zeros. We have to create in the second question, we have to create an array of 10 ones. So before I commence any further, what I would recommend is that you guys first of all, do all of these exercises yourself, and watch this video wherever you guys feel you're getting stuck. Only then you should watch this particular video. I mean, for example, let's say you get stuck on the third question, so fast forward in the video to the third question and see what I've done for the particular question. And yeah, that is how you guys should be practicing. First try it out yourselves. Wherever you get stuck, watch the video, fast forward to the question, and yeah, this is, I believe, the right way and the best way of getting practice. The second question is create an array of 10 ones. So using the np.ones command, pass in the tens, we get 10. We have to create an array of 10 fives, so just say ones, pass in 10, we get ones over here, so we have to multiply it by 5, and this is just scalar multiplication. What I'm doing over here is I'm telling NumPy that after you get an array of 10 ones, I want you to multiply each and every element inside of that array with 5, and when I do that, I get 5 over here. Second question is we have to create an array of integers from 10 to 50. So using the np.range command, 10 comma 50. Oops, I think I zoomed out. I get, okay then, yeah, 100% is good. Let me just zoom in a little bit more. This is good. Okay. Second one is we have to create an array of all the even integers from 10 to 50. Okay, np.range again, 10 to 50, but we specify a step size of 2, and we get 10 to 50, all of the even numbers from 10 to 50. The second question, the other question is we have to create a 3x3 matrix with values ranging from 0 to 8. So this is a two-step process, but we can do it in one if you want. The first thing is we will create a 9-element 1D vector, and then we'll reshape it as a 3x3 matrix. So what I mean over here is I'll say np.arrange 0, 10, and what I get over here is, okay, I think it should be 0, 9. Yes, this is because the second number is always exclusive. So what I get over here is I get these 9 elements, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And now I can reshape this as a 3x3 matrix because 3 multiplied by 3 is 9. So this is how I get a 3x3 matrix. The other question is moving forward, 3x3 identity matrix. So identity matrix command is np.I, and we specify the number of rows, number of columns, and we get the identity matrix. Okay, using NumPy we have to generate a random number between 0 and 1. Okay, this is np.random.rand, and we will specify 1. Okay, yep, np.random.rand n. So what we do over here is we specify the number, and what NumPy will do is that from 0 to this number, between this number, NumPy will specify any random number between these two numbers. So if I say 0, 2, okay, then I think I made a mistake in this question, but I'll probably look at the solution. Yeah, still our answer is correct. We are getting a random number between 0 and 1. So this will pass, I believe. Yes. Do apologies if I made a mistake over here. Moving forward, we have to use NumPy to generate an array of 25 random numbers sampled from a normal distribution. Okay, then we will say np.random.rand n, I'll say 25. Okay, then so the np.random.rand n command over here, and we have specified the number of elements that we need. So Python has created this 5x5 matrix for us, and these 5x5 matrix are numbers that are sampled from a standard normal distribution. Normal distributions, a normal distribution has numbers that range from 0 to 1. So yeah, this will pass, I believe. I do apologize, my statistics concepts are not that good these days. I haven't revised it a lot, but this is not a course on statistics. This is a course on NumPy. The main thing is you guys understanding the commands and how they're being used over here. So yeah, moving forward. Over here we have to create the following matrix. The following matrix over here has numbers from 0 to 1, and they are at a difference of 0.01. Okay, then so how can we do this? We can say np dot, can we use the arrange command? Okay, so how can we carry this out? Let's say, you know what, I don't want to run on this cell. If I do this, this output would be deleted. So let's do this on this cell over here. I'll say np.range 0, 1, and let's say no, this is not how it's supposed to work. Let's say 100. Okay then. Okay. np.101. Yeah. So now I get elements from 0 all the way to 100, and if I just divide this answer of mine with 100, 0, 0.01, I will just do 1. Yes, so this is my output. I am sorry, I haven't memorized all of these answers. I'm just as new to them as you guys are. So wherever you guys get stuck, it's completely fine. It's completely natural. You can even use Google to find whatever the answer that you're looking for. But yes, this is how it's supposed to be done and carried out. So what I've done over here is I have told NumPy that I want a range, a 1D vector of elements from 1 to 101. And after, and yeah, there should be at an increment of 1. When I do that, what I get over here is elements from 1 inclusive to 101, but 101 is exclusive. And the result is divided by 100. And yeah, that's how it's done. Moving forward, next question is we have to create an array of 20 linear space points between 0 and 1. Okay, 20 linearly spaced points. So I think this will be done using the linspace command, where we specify the first number, second number, and the increments or the total number of divisions that have to be carried out. If I run this, yes. So over here, what you've told NumPy is that starting from 1 all the way to, starting from 0 and all the way to 1, what I want to do is I want you to give me 20 numbers at an equal interval phase between 0 and 1. So this is where the linspace commands come. Okay then. Okay, moving forward. Yes. So now we are at the NumPy indexing and selection portion. I somehow deleted this question, but I know what NumPy is asking me to do over here. What NumPy is asking me to do over here is to, from this matrix by the name of mat, NumPy wants me to pick this matrix out, 12, 13, 14, 15. You know, this 3 cross 4 matrix, 12, 13, 14, 15, all the way to 25, this square over here. So how I can do this is I'll say mat, and I'll say give me 0, 1, 2, this is the second row, give me all rows starting from second, 0, 1, and comma all columns starting from 1. Okay, then I think that's not right. Oops, I think this should wrong parenthesis. Yeah, I put in round brackets, but square brackets we needed over here. So using square brackets, I get 12, 13, 14, 15, 17, 19, 20, 24, 25. Yes. In the second part, what NumPy is asking us is that I have to pick 20 from this result over here. So no problem. This is 0, 1. This is on the first row. 0, 1. So what I'll do over here is I'll tell NumPy that give me all elements in the first row, but not including the second one. So I'll only get elements from this row over here, and give me all elements from the 0, 1, 2, 3 from the third column, and I get array 20. And if I say 0, I get 20. Make sense? Yeah, that's the answer over here. I get 20. So the next part is they're asking me to generate this array, and what is this array over here? Oops, sorry, it's mat. They're asking me to extract 2, 7, 12 over here from this matrix. Okay, so 2, 7, 12 is 0, row 0, row 1, row 2. I will say 0 to 3. I hope you guys have practiced NumPy array indexing. It's extremely important. It's not something that I haven't covered in the previous videos. Just in case you guys are feeling uncomfortable with this part, please watch that video again. And if there is something that you guys are not clear of, please feel free to leave your questions in the comment section, and I'll try to cover them in as much detail as possible. So yeah, 2, 7, 12 we have to extract from this matrix. So I'll tell NumPy that give me elements from row 0, row 1, row 2, but not row 3. So I'll say 0 to 3. And which column is this? This is column 1. I get 2, 7, 12. Okay then. But apparently I think I have made a mistake, because this shouldn't be 2, 7, 12 like this. Look at the shape. It's 3. Well, what we can do is we can take transpose. Oops, transpose doesn't help also. So I don't think this should be like this. So we can reshape this. 1 row, 3 columns. Okay then. So I don't know why is it like this over here. But the shape is, I don't know. I think maybe this is something that has to do with GUI, graphical user interface. But yeah, we are getting 2, 7, 12 as we were told. And if I were to look at mat, yes, mat.shape. Yeah, I think what we did was correct. Just in case I have made a mistake over here, please feel free to let me know in the comments. But I think this is pretty much how this should happen. Yeah. Moving forward, I'll probably get back to this. Now NumPy wants us to extract elements 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. These elements right here. So this will be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. This will be the 4th row. So this will be the 4th row. All elements in the 4th row with all columns. So yeah, that was pretty easy. All elements in the 4th row and all elements in all columns. Pretty easy. Moving forward, now NumPy is asking us to extract all elements from these 2 rows over here. So this will be mat 0, 1, 2, 3, starting from 3 till the very end, and all columns. I get 16, 17, 18, 20. Yep. Okay then. So that was pretty much it for NumPy array indexing. Moving forward, last question asks us to get the sum of all values in mat. So sum is mat dot sum. I get 325. And just in case if you guys don't know what operation to perform, I'll leave this link in the description for you guys to refer. But yes, second is mat says standard deviation. So mat.std. Okay, the standard deviation. And now this will be a little bit tricky. We have to get the sum of all columns in mat. So sum of all columns. So sum of column 1, column 2, column 3, column 4, column 5. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay then. So one way of doing this is, well, we do need all of the rows. So I will say I need all of the rows. And I just need column 0. And if I say sum, I get 55. If I do 1, I get 60. So this is one way of doing it. We can even do a while I is less than equal to 5, I is equal to 0. This will be a bit tricky. We'll see. There's another way. I'm pretty sure there is another way of doing this, but I'm doing it in a way I think is comfortable for me, I guess. I is equal to I plus 1. Okay, I will print this. Print this result of mine. Okay, 5, 60, 65. Okay then. Yes. So yeah, this is element by element. This is column by column addition of elements inside of my matrix over here. So if I were to look at mat again, oops, this is a code cell. If I were to add 1, 6, 11, 16, 21, I would get 55. If I were to add this column 2, 7, 12, 17, 22, I would get 60, so on and so forth. So this is one way of doing it. I'm pretty sure there is a better way of doing this, but yeah. So yes, this was the last video on introduction to NumPy for beginners. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys learned something about NumPy. Feel free to ask me any question in the comment section. If you guys like this video, please subscribe to the channel. Share this video with your friends and colleagues, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video.